Alex stepped off the shuttle and felt the ground tremble beneath his boots. The sky was dark, filled with swirling clouds that glowed with strange energy. The air smelled metallic, and every breath felt heavy in his lungs. Around him, jagged rocks jutted from the ground like teeth, sharp and dangerous. He glanced back at the shuttle where the crew waited, fear written on their faces. No human had ever survived on this planet, and everyone knew it. Alex took a deep breath, his heart pounding, yet he felt a strange calm. This was the test he had chosen, the challenge he could not ignore. A loud roar echoed across the barren land, shaking loose dust from the cliffs. Alien creatures emerged from the shadows, their glowing eyes fixed on him. They moved silently, yet every step felt deliberate, watching, waiting. Alex crouched behind a rock, observing them carefully. He could see their patterns, the way they hunted in pairs. He remembered his training, every lesson about patience, observation, and speed. With careful timing, he darted forward, avoiding the creature's notice. Each movement felt like a gamble. Every step could be his last. The ground beneath him cracked suddenly, sending a shower of sparks into the air. Alex leaped to safety, his boots skidding on alien metal. He realized the planet itself was alive, testing him at every turn. Lightning streaked across the sky, illuminating alien ruins in the distance. Curiosity battled fear inside him, and he chose courage, stepping toward the ruins. Inside, the walls pulsed with a faint blue glow, symbols etched deep into the stone. Alex felt a connection he could not explain, as if the planet was speaking to him. He reached out, touching the symbols, and a surge of energy ran through his body. Suddenly, a loud explosion rocked the area, throwing him to the ground. He looked up to see a part of the shuttle collapsing. Flow. Ames licking the sky. The crew was far away, and escape seemed impossible. Yet Alex did not panic. He rose slowly, scanning for another path. The alien creatures had noticed the explosion and were moving toward him. With quick thinking, he used broken rocks to create a distraction. The creatures followed the sound, allowing him to slip past unnoticed. He ran through narrow canyons, the wind howling around him. Every step was a test of speed, endurance, and wit. He found a hidden cave, its entrance almost invisible against the rocky walls. Inside, the air was cooler, quieter, but he could feel the planet watching. Strange symbols glowed faintly, casting shadows that danced like spirits. Alex moved carefully, his mind racing with strategies for survival. He knew the night would be long, filled with hunger, danger, and fear. Yet he also knew he had survived where no human should. The crew believed he was dead, but Alex was only beginning his journey. Tonight, he would survive, learn, and adapt. Tonight, he would prove that a human could walk out alive. Alex woke to the sound of distant screeches, sharp and alien. The cave was dimly lit by the faint blue glow of strange symbols. He rubbed his eyes, feeling the ache from the previous night. Outside, the ground moved slightly, as if the planet itself was breathing. Alien creatures prowled nearby, their glowing eyes scanning for any movement. Alex listened carefully, noting the rhythm of their steps, their hunting patterns. He knew one wrong move could mean death, yet he felt no fear, only focus. He crept to the cave entrance, his boots silent on the rocky floor. A group of small creatures circled a glowing pool. Their movements were quick, precise, intelligent, not like simple animals. Alex studied them, recognizing patterns no human had noticed before. He picked up sharp rocks, tying them together with alien vines. He created traps, simple yet effective, using the environment to his advantage. One by one, the creatures fell into his clever designs. Alex smiled slightly, knowing he had begun to master this planet. The sky above darkened as an energy storm approached. Lightning struck the cliffs, sending shards of rock tumbling down. Alex moved quickly, finding shelter behind a jagged rock formation. He watched the storm, noticing how it affected the alien creatures. They became restless, more aggressive, yet slower in their movements. He used this knowledge to plan his next steps. Each observation gave him power. Each danger taught him survival. Days passed as Alex explored the harsh terrain. He climbed cliffs that seemed impossible, crossed rivers of molten metal. Every challenge tested his strength, his mind, and his courage. He discovered footprints of past explorers, old and forgotten. Skeletons lay scattered, a warning to any human who dared follow. Instead of fear, Alex felt determination, a fire growing inside him. He was alone, yes, but he was learning fast. Than anyone could imagine. At night, the creatures came closer, drawn by his presence. Alex used alien plants that glowed softly to create illusions. Shadows moved in the distance, confusing the hunters. He began to understand their communication, small sounds and gestures. Soon he could predict their attacks before they even happened. The planet was alive, but Alex was becoming part of it. He adapted, learning the rhythm of life and danger on this world. One evening, he spotted a strange object partially buried in the sand. It was metallic, covered in alien symbols and faint blue light. Alex approached cautiously, feeling a strange energy hum through his hands. It was a device, old and powerful, a tool from a civilization long gone. He studied it carefully, testing small functions without breaking it. The device responded to him, almost as if it recognized his will. Alex realized he was no longer just surviving. He was learning, mastering, and preparing for what the planet would throw next. As the night fell, he sat under the glowing symbols of the cave. The creatures prowled outside, aware yet hesitant. Alex smiled quietly, knowing he was not their prey. He had become a hunter and a survivor. The planet had tested him, and he had passed. Tomorrow, he would explore further, unlock more secrets, and face greater dangers, for Alex knew that alone he could survive where no human ever had. Alex walked through the desert, the glowing ruins of the alien world stretching endlessly. Sand mixed with metal shards crunched under his boots. The sun barely pierced the thick clouds above, casting a dull light on everything. In the distance, he noticed shapes rising from the sand, sharp and tall. He squinted, realizing they were walls, towers, and bridges of an ancient city. The city seemed abandoned, yet alive, humming with energy that made his skin tingle. He approached carefully, stepping over broken alien machinery. Strange symbols carved into the walls glowed faintly as he passed. Alex ran his fingers across the carvings, feeling a pulse beneath his touch. The symbols seemed to guide him, pointing toward the heart of the city. He paused at a massive gate, its surface covered in alien inscriptions. Using his knowledge of patterns from the planet, he began to decode them. Slowly, the gate opened with a deep hum, revealing a dark corridor inside. The air was cooler within the city, heavy and full of quiet energy. Alex moved silently, watching for traps or hidden dangers. Strange machines lay dormant, some half buried in sand, others still glowing faintly. He noticed alien drones suspended above, their sensors scanning, yet motionless. Alex studied them carefully, noting their patterns, the timing of their lights. He realized he could move freely if he kept to the shadows and followed the rhythm. The city was massive, stretching farther than he could see. Towers spiraled upward, some collapsing, some perfect, as if untouched. Alex climbed one tower and looked down, seeing streets lined with strange statues. The statues had features of both humans and aliens, a mixture of cultures long forgotten. He wondered who had built this city and why they had left it behind. His curiosity pushed him deeper into tunnels, through bridges, and across floating platforms. In the center, he found a large chamber, walls lined with glowing screens and strange controls. Alien devices hummed softly, reacting to his presence. He experimented carefully, pressing buttons and pulling levers. The machines powered up slowly, lights blinking in response to his touch. Alex realized he had found a control room, the brain of the hidden city. He could feel the energy from the planet flowing through the devices. With each small action, he understood more of the city's secrets. Outside, alien drones began to circle, sensing activity. Alex remained calm, using the city's own systems to hide his presence. He discovered doors that led to hidden rooms filled with knowledge, tools, and strange artifacts. One artifact glowed brighter than the rest, pulsing in tune with his heartbeat. He reached out, and the artifact responded, showing maps, diagrams, and energy flows. Alex realized he could survive here indefinitely, learn from the city, and even control parts of it. For the first time, he felt hope, not just survival, but mastery. The hidden city was no longer just ruins. It was a home, a base, and a source of power. As night fell over the desert, Alex sat in the glowing chamber. The city hummed around him, alive yet still. He knew the planet had more challenges ahead, more dangers waiting, but he also knew he had found a place no other human had, a place where he could adapt, learn, and prepare. The hidden city was his, and with it, he could survive anything. Tomorrow, he would explore further, unlock more secrets, and face new trials. For Alex alone was not weakness, it was power, strategy, and survival. Alex moved deeper into the hidden city, the glowing maps from the artifact lighting his path. The corridors twisted like a maze, shadows stretching and shifting strangely. He felt the air grow colder, heavier, as if the city itself was watching him. Every step echoed softly, and the faint hum of alien machines filled the silence. Suddenly, the ground beneath him shifted, sliding panels opening to reveal pits of glowing liquid. Alex froze, then leaped, landing safely on the other side. He realized the city had traps, not for creatures, but for intruders. Ahead, a vast chamber appeared, walls covered with shimmering symbols. As Alex stepped inside, lights flickered and shadows moved independently of any source. The shadows grew taller, darker, forming shapes that looked like creatures. Alex's heart pounded, but he stood firm, knowing fear could be fatal. The shadows began to speak, not with words, but images in his mind. They showed him visions of failure, loneliness, and despair. He saw himself falling endlessly into dark pits, creatures tearing at him, but he focused, breathing slowly, using the calm he had built over days of survival. He noticed that the shadows reacted to his thoughts and actions. When he imagined courage, the shapes shrank, trembling and unstable. When doubt crept in, they grew taller, sharper, almost solid. Alex realized this was a test, not of strength, but of mind and will. He took a step forward, ignoring the fear, focusing only on the glowing path. The shadows lunged, twisted, and screamed, yet Alex moved steadily. He remembered the lessons from the planet. Every trap, every predator, every challenge, patience, observation, and strategy had kept him alive. Now, his mind was the battlefield, and he would survive again. He reached a central platform, a pedestal glowing with pale blue light. On it lay a small crystalline device pulsing with energy. The shadows converged, forming a wall trying to block him. Alex touched the pedestal, feeling a surge of power flow into him. The shadows recoiled, shrinking and fading. They had tested him, pushed him to the edge, and now acknowledged his strength. The chamber hummed softly, the glow spreading throughout the city. Alex felt a new connection, not just to the city but to the planet itself. Exhausted, he sat on the platform, catching his breath. He realized the trial had taught him more than survival. It had taught him patience, courage, and the ability to face fear without faltering. Outside, the storm had passed, leaving an eerie calm over the desert. The alien creatures no longer prowled near the city. It was as if they sensed the shift in his power, his mastery. Alex stood, feeling stronger, wiser, ready for the next challenge. He knew more trials awaited, but he had passed the first. The city had accepted him, not as a guest, but as a survivor, and in that acceptance, he found not just safety, but purpose. As night fell, Alex gazed at the glowing symbols along the walls. Each pulse of light told a story of the past, of civilizations lost. He smiled quietly, knowing he would write his own story here, a story of survival, courage, and humanity's strength. Tomorrow he would venture further, uncover secrets, and face dangers that no human had ever faced. But for tonight, he rested, ready and unbroken, for Alex had learned the trial of shadows, and he would walk out alive. Alex walked through the heart of the hidden city, the glow of the symbols lighting his path. The air was charged, buzzing softly as if the planet itself held its breath. He could feel energy under his feet, vibrating through the ground. Ahead, the crystalline pedestal from the trial of shadows pulsed brighter, calling him forward. He approached slowly, remembering the power it had given him before. The shadows from the trial were gone, replaced by a strange calm, but Alex sensed that this calm was only the surface, waiting for a spark. As he touched the pedestal, a beam of light shot upward, piercing the ceiling. Energy flowed into the city, activating long-dormant machines. Walls shifted and opened, revealing hidden chambers filled with alien technology. Alex stepped back in awe, feeling the hum of power wrap around him. The city was alive now, responding to his presence and the device. He realized this was not just a tool, but the heart of the ancient civilization, a device that could reshape the planet or destroy it, if misused. Suddenly, alarms echoed through the city, high-pitched and urgent. Alien drones stirred from their resting places, activating as if on alert. Alex's mind raced, analyzing the patterns, the timing, and the controls. He understood that the device required careful handling, patience, and intelligence. A wrong move could trigger a chain reaction, one that no human had survived before. He moved to the control panels, his hands steady despite the danger. The device responded to his touch, screens lighting up with maps, energy flows, and warnings. Outside, the storm returned, fierce and violent, winds howling through the towers. Lightning struck metal spires, sending sparks dancing across the city. Alex realized the planet was testing him again, combining danger with opportunity. He had to control the device before the environment became lethal. He worked quickly, inputting sequences, rerouting energy, and stabilizing systems. The drones circled, their sensors glowing, yet they did not attack. It was as if the device had tamed them, making Alex part of the city's balance. Hours passed as Alex synchronized the device with the planet's energy. He felt the flow through his body, a connection deeper than anything he had known. The hidden city hummed, its power alive, responsive, almost intelligent. Alex realized he could control it, not to dominate, but to survive and explore. The device had awakened not just the city, but a part of himself, a human who could think, adapt, and master what no one else could. Finally, the energy stabilized, and the city glowed evenly, softly, without threat. The drones returned to their resting places, the chambers quiet once more. Alex stepped back from the pedestal, exhausted but triumphant. He had awakened the ancient device, survived its trial, and earned the planet's acknowledgement. He looked around at the glowing city, realizing he had more than survival. He had knowledge, power, and a path forward. The hidden city was no longer just ruins. It was a base, a teacher, and a sanctuary. And Alex, alone but unbroken, had proven that a human could survive where none had before. As night fell, he gazed at the stars through the broken ceiling. The desert outside seemed quiet, but Alex knew it held more challenges. He smiled quietly, ready for the next trial, the next discovery, the next test. For he was no longer just a visitor. He was a part of the city, and the city was a part of him. And tomorrow, the adventure would continue, stronger, wiser, and alive. Alex stood at the top of the tallest tower in the hidden city. The wind howled around him, carrying the smell of metal and sand. Above, storm clouds twisted and churned, lightning cracking through the sky. He had learned the city's secrets, mastered its devices, and survived the trial of shadows. But he sensed something new, a threat he had not faced before, a ripple in the air, a movement too precise to be natural. Suddenly, shadows streaked across the clouds, shapes moving faster than any bird. Alex's eyes widened as alien ships, sleek and black, dove from the sky. They were hunting him, drawn to the energy of the awakened device. He jumped onto a floating platform, the city responding instantly. Platforms shifted, bridges extended, and walls rose. The city itself became a shield, moving to protect him. But the ships were relentless, lasers streaking through the air, cutting sparks from towers. Alex activated a control panel near the pedestal, sending pulses of energy into the drones. They rose like metallic guardians, wings glinting in the storm. The drones intercepted the alien ships, colliding in midair with sparks and fire. He felt the vibrations through the tower, the city alive beneath him, but he knew he could not stay in one place. The ships were too many, too fast, and their weapons too precise. Alex needed a plan, something no alien could anticipate. He studied the sky, noticing a pattern in their attack. The ships moved in synchronized waves, leaving small gaps between strikes. Alex plotted a course, leaping from platform to platform. The city responded, shifting and adjusting as if reading his mind. He dodged lasers, vaulted over gaps, and slid along moving walkways, each movement precise, calculated, a dance of survival. The drones followed, forming a protective circle around him. One ship broke formation, heading straight for the pedestal. Alex had wanted the device, the source of power he had awakened. He ran to intercept, activating energy shields that sprang from the city's floor. The ship crashed against the barrier, sparks flying, alarms blaring. He seized the moment, channeling energy from the device into a pulse. The pulse shot upward, disabling the ship's engines and sending it tumbling. The remaining ships hesitated, circling, unsure of what had happened. Alex climbed higher, reaching the edge of the tower. Below, the city spread like a glowing circuit, alive and ready. He realized he could use the storm itself as a weapon. By channeling energy from the device into the clouds, he could strike the ships. Lightning arced from the sky, hitting one ship, then another. The attackers were forced back, retreating into the storm. Alex stood alone on the tower, the wind whipping around him, victorious. He had faced an ambush no human had survived before, and he had lived. Exhausted, Alex looked at the glowing city. The storm began to calm, the drones returning to their resting positions. He had not just survived, he had proven that a human could fight and think faster than any alien enemy. The sky was quiet now, but Alex knew more challenges awaited. He had learned to trust the city, the device, and himself. And he smiled quietly, ready for whatever came next, for he had walked out alive once again, stronger, smarter, and unbroken. Alex stood on the highest spire of the hidden city. The storm had passed, leaving the sky clear, stars reflecting on the glowing city below. The alien ships had retreated, but he knew this was only the beginning. The planet was ancient, filled with secrets, dangers, and trials. He had survived the trial of shadows, mastered the ancient device, and fought an ambush in the sky. Now, the final challenge awaited, one that would test everything he had learned. From the pedestal, the crystalline device pulsed softly, its energy flowing through Alex, linking him to the city and the planet itself. He could feel life stirring below the desert, creatures long hidden moving through tunnels and caverns. The planet was alive, aware, and curious about this human who dared to walk alone. Alex breathed deeply, steadying his mind, focusing on calm and courage. He knew that fear could not control him, not here, not now. Suddenly, the ground shook, deep rumbling like a heartbeat. Ancient guardians rose from hidden chambers, tall, metallic beings with glowing eyes. They were the planet's protectors, designed to test those who entered the city. Alex did not hesitate. He understood that fighting was only one way to survive. He focused, channeling energy from the device, projecting confidence and intention. The Guardians paused, sensing his strength, his will, his humanity. One by one, they stepped aside, acknowledging him not as a threat, but as a master. Beyond the Guardians, a massive gate opened, revealing the core of the planet, a sphere of glowing energy pulsing like a star in miniature. Alex stepped forward, feeling the immense power surround him. He realized the device was not just a tool, it was a key to the planet itself. With it, he could command energy, manipulate terrain, and even protect life across the world. But with power came responsibility, a test of judgment as well. As skill, he raised his hand, touching the core, feeling every pulse, every vibration. Images flashed through his mind, civilizations rising and falling, planets thriving and dying. He saw the consequences of arrogance and the rewards of wisdom. Alex understood that to survive here was not to dominate, but to balance, to honor the planet, the city, and the creatures who lived there. He felt a bond form, a connection deeper than fear, deeper than survival. The device glowed brightly, energy flowing through him, the city, and the planet. The Guardians knelt, acknowledging him as a human who had conquered not by force, but by courage, intelligence, and heart. Alex smiled quietly, knowing he had become more than a survivor. He was a part of the planet, a bridge between humanity and the ancient world. The sky above glowed softly, reflecting the harmony below. Alex looked at the horizon, knowing that adventure, discovery, and challenge would continue. But for now, he had walked out alive, stronger than any who came before, a human who survived, adapted, and conquered the trials of a planet that no one believed could be survived. And as the stars shone above, Alex stepped forward, ready for the future, unbroken, unstoppable, and alive.